1, go. Hello everybody, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys at. It's your boy Goke Taiwo, Comlag C89 Tiger House. Today we have some guests we've been chasing for a while. Comkadosa and Exboy in the house. We're from the same family from Nigerian Education. NOD, we're happy to see our brothers over here to come and give us their experiences different from Comlag. So I will pass it over to my co-host to introduce our guest today.
Good evening, everyone. Ifeda Polowe, C88 Command Secondary School, Ipaja, Lagos, flying us house. We have a guest all the way from the West Coast today. They're kind of keeping us up on the East Coast. I really don't like that, but we appreciate your presence, though. So, Emmanuel Oriu, 91 set, Comkadosa. We have Dr. Tosin Abe, Dr. Abe.
Dr. Abe.
All right. 91 said also Comkadosa. Then we have the Lone Ranger, the only guy that is all there today. We have 4 commandos in the house, but Nasif Bena, popularly known as Naz, NMS, class of 84. We welcome you guys.
The Exboy, the Lone Ranger Exboy in the house.
I like that Lone Ranger, and I will take the fire for NMS.
Yeah, so the Lone Ranger versus the Commandos.
I don't know.
So the Commandos against one Exboy.
So let's give him the privilege.
Yes, sounds good.
To start by his introduction, since he's the only one that's a Lone Ranger. So Naz, go for it. Please introduce yourself.
So pretty much, what do you want to cover in introduction?
Anything you want to cover.
No, it's your name, the year you got into NMS, what you do right now, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Name is Nazif Bena. Got into NMS 84 and passed out, as we say. We did our POP in 89. Mm-hmm. And after NMS, I call myself a citizen of the world. I traveled around the world before coming to the States, and I've been here since around 2000. And line of profession is tech. I do IT project management, mostly in software development projects for large enterprises, Fortune 500 to be specific, here in LA. I've been in LA since I got here. So I'm happy to be here as a Lone Ranger, and I will hold down the fort for my fellow ex-boys. So over to somebody else from command. I'm not gonna call you guys commandos, so because you don't.
Hey, Naz, don't start. Okay, Mr. Dr. Abe, are you still there?
Dr. Abe.
Dr. Abe. Okay, you have the floor.
So my name is Tosin. My children say Abby, they call it Abby. Mm-hmm. But everybody else here calls me Abe, So I don't correct people anymore.
It's the American way. I'm
not tired of correcting people. So now even when people ask me, I say, okay, yeah, Abe. Okay, we'll go with that.
Abe Lincoln.
They actually think you're Abraham because that's what they call Abraham Lincoln. Abe.
Exactly.
Okay, go for it.
So Tosin Abe, I've been in the US for quite a number of years. Right after command, got into command in 85, finished in 91. Unfortunately, we were the first set that started the 6-year tenure, which wasn't fun for us. But I mean, we had a good time, doing it. But we were the first set, so we were supposed to finish in 90. We finished in 91, and like I said, right after that, I pretty much came to America, and I've been here for a long time, about close to 30 years now. Line of profession, medical health, rehab services. I also do business investments. I have a real estate venture with Mr. Naz, and we've been expanding that. That's where we want to end up eventually and leave this 9-to-5 job. That's pretty much going pretty well too. And yeah, I do love to travel. I've been just about everywhere. I remember when I was younger, I do a lot of backpacking to Europe. I just book the cheapest ticket anywhere, and I just go all over Europe. And so I've been to a lot of countries around the world. I still do that with my kids and my wife, and I really enjoy that. And pretty much that's it about me.
At some point, we called you a backpack doctor. Remember?
All right, Oriu.
Yes, sir. My name is Emmanuel Orihu. I got into command secondary school Kaduna in '85, same as Tosin. I graduated 91. After that, spent about a year in Jos, in Uni Jos, and left and came to the States. Came to the States in '94, from '94 till now. My line of profession is beauty supplies. Beauty supplies manufacturing, also wholesaling, importing, exporting, anything that has to do with beauty supply products, hair, human hair, synthetic, all that stuff, all the women stuff, Yeah.
Dude,
own a business, yeah.
Hey man, we need to talk for real.
So a couple of things about Emmanuel is Emma is my neighbor in Nigeria. Our dads were in the same military unit in IMI, and Emma's dad is an Exboy. I think your dad is a second set Nigerian military school Zaria.
Yes,
second set.
I never knew that. Emmanuel.
His dad is an Exboy.
Yeah.
His dad is what's that? The former governor of Bendel State back in the days. Your dad's mate. What's his name? Major General. I forgot his name, but that's all. I know because my dad used to. I knew because my dad told me your dad was an Exboy, so that's how I knew about it. And they were in the same military unit. Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it going. We go back to Emmanuel. So we wanted to start by sharing your experiences in Comkadosa. From the first day they dropped you. On the first day you were dropped.
From the first day they dropped me.
Yeah.
It was good.
Really?
First day, it was nice at first. Meeting all the new, the new
book
students and the seniors and everything. Then maybe after about a week, that's when we started seeing the true colors. Come out. It was really. Then it started getting bad. I mean, Kaduna was really tough, man. That school, that school was brutal. Brutal, man. Big time. We had some wicked seniors, man. Whew. I remember once, man. Huh? You said we can't mess with no name. We can't mess with no name. No name, so we know that. So I remember one time, one senior, I think he had called one boy, showed up, and he said we should all pick clothes. That we should pick the clothes. We could pick clothes. You had a whole pile of clothes and buckets. I was in Blue House, so picked the stuff. But I didn't have. He asked. He said he gave us. So I asked. He gave us the clothes, and I had the buckets. So I asked him for the soap because I wasn't going to use my own soap. So where's the soap? He said, bro, you did ask me for soap that I should come. I should blow my cheeks. Listen, I'm not kidding you. I blow my cheeks. I blow your cheeks. So me not knowing what I saw, I blew my cheeks and you opened his palm. The guy sounded me. Come on, listen. I have rashes on my face. Did
he have on his hand?
He told me to blow my cheeks. That was the first time I experienced it. The guy gave me, see the slap, man. Oh boy, man. That was bad. That whole week, man, my whole right side was just rash. I was like, I couldn't, it was bad. I lived in Lagos. I couldn't call. There was no boy DA. Things were just getting really tough for us, man. With all the seniors, and it was very. I mean, I wouldn't trade it for anything because it made me tough, man. I could go through stuff. I may go through anything. So,
but okay, Emmanuel, okay. By the time you became a senior, did you replicate those disciplines?
No, I did. I was the most. How would I say? K1 thing.
People are watching this, Emmanuel, and you're house captain. You're a house captain of Flying Horse House.
Okay, they made me the house prefect for the Flying Horse House.
Okay.
So I didn't care. I was cool with all my mates. I wasn't trying to be the Afamako or the
And your juniors will call, not your mates. Your juniors will call.
Emmanuel, tread carefully.
Yes.
Somebody from Comkadosa came on this show.
Yes.
Bragged about how cool he was until we heard otherwise.
No. Listen, I'm sad because I was one of the best. Let me say, you know what? I wouldn't say I was one of the best dancers in school. So
really?
I was more into the, that cool prefect, playing music, going to visit the girls.
So you were the social guy.
Yes, I was a social guy. I didn't really. Well, I wasn't. As long as you do your work, you do your chores. Make your bed when you get up, and we all good. Because it all comes back to commandants. If a housemaster comes and the place is not good, or AO comes and the place is looking, on cap, then it goes back to commandant. I have to go to commandant's office, and I get the the long end of the stick.
You guys didn't have RSM. Did you guys didn't have RSM?
I think we had an RSM, but I think something happened.
Yeah. It was not. It was quiet. It was not top like.
Yeah. No, it was mostly AO. Yeah, we had one. It was mostly AO and senior body house master. Those two. those two were the main. They were the main.
All right.
People. Yeah.
So Emmanuel, we're not done with you. We're going to get back to you.
Sure, no please.
Hey, Tosin.
Yes, sir.
All right. So why don't you go for it?
Your first day
on the first day we dropped off.
The first day I got dropped off. So I come from a home where my parents were always. I was sheltered, so that first month or so was brutal. Didn't see them, and it was really brutal. I just couldn't get with it. So they actually thought I was going to come back home. They didn't think I would stay. But of course, after you mingle with your boys, you get used to it. It was okay. But the first year was really tough because I just haven't seen people being brutal like that. People were wicked. What? I mean, like you remember that? You remember how they used to beat all of us in the courtyard?
Yes.
I remember.
We've heard about that. Tell us about that courtyard because we've heard some stories about that.
House comes last. If your house comes last during inspection, we do inspection on Saturdays where the teachers will come. They'll look at your house comes last. You're dead. They fetch everybody into the courtyard.
Everybody.
And all kind of punishments. Stoop down, angle 90. You use water to fetch
planting. And planting was a popular one.
Planting. You put water with spoon inside the bucket. I mean, it was brutal. Golly, I mean, I remember one of the, when I was in Form 1, the prefect at that time. Oh my God, our house prefect. They did a number on us. Not to be specific and not to call names. That was when I decided. You know what? If I make it past Form 1, then I'll be able to stand the school. If I don't make it past it, then I know definitely. But. We were able to withstand all the punishment. It was just all kind of punishment. I've never heard of punishments like that in my life before. It was brutal. Form 2 was okay, and then Form 3, I was in a room. What those rooms that they give the prefects and they give some of the students
like a box room.
Right, like a box room. So Form 3 was okay, but funny enough, it was that Form 3 that was in a room. When you're in a room, you're sheltered because you're now exposed to all the beatings that you get from all the other senior. But one of the seniors in our room, the one day decided to, I think he wanted water, and I was supposed to fetch him water, and I did not get it. He decided to descend on me that day. He beat the living daylight. That was the biggest beating I got. Not in Form 1, not in Form 2, but in Form 3.
Wow.
He gave me the biggest beating. But you know the funny thing now? That senior, the younger sister of that senior, is married to one of my good friends now. That we went to command together.
Wow.
So, I don't want to mention names. I won't mention the name of the person. But his younger sister is married to one of my good friends that was in command with us at the time too. And he was in the room, but he didn't even know that he would marry the senior's younger sister. But it's just funny how this world is so small, and how things turn around and get to be. But we made it through, and I had some few scars on my body.
Wait. Now, what do you do for senior? When you become senior, what do you do? I don't watch they try to skip that part. What do you do when you become senior?
You kill.
It's hard for me to judge you. I can't judge myself, but I thought I was fairly okay with most of the
Can I step in and speak for Tosin? Tosin was not
wicked. He was not wicked. No, he was very quiet. Tosin was quiet. It was cool.
Yeah, I didn't make any noise. Emmanuel is saying, hold on one second. Emmanuel is saying that he was one of the best dancers. Emmanuel wasn't one of the best dancers. Emmanuel was the best dancer. Period.
Wow.
It was almost like if we were having social activity, we had good dancers. They would dance. And you know how other people dance, and Michael Jackson comes to take the stage.
Yeah, during holidays, he might used to come to the house to come and dance now. So we knew his dance steps back in the day.
Was at the time.
We couldn't compete. We didn't even bother. We just let him dance by himself. In the house, when we were watching MTV, we dance by yourself. Yeah, we didn't even bother competing. We were younger.
All right, so let's go to the Lone Ranger.
The Lone Ranger,
Exboy. All right, so first day, right? That's the question. We started with the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Have you guys been to Zaria, NMS, or Depot, that barracks at all? Anybody been there?
No.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay, if you've not been there, I have props here. This is the gate to get into NMS.
Mm-hmm.
On that first day, we got there. Obviously, we were told to bring our bucket. That iron bucket, right?
Yeah.
That we're all used to. And you have to bring your cutlass, you have to bring your broom, and of course your suitcase. When I got there, they said I should come down. My mom took me. They told me to come down. They inspected everything that I had. They had a checklist. They were yelling at me. It's like, I think how old was I? Maybe 12 or so. It's like, and this is the first time I'm leaving home. They were yelling at me. It's like I was getting confused. I just started crying. And when we were done, I was hoping that they would let me go back to my mom so that my mom would drive me inside. They said, no. Say bye to her from here.
Wow.
I couldn't even hug her.
Army job don't start with that.
Oh my God. I just started crying, and then they said I should carry my suitcase and put it on top of my head. At that time, of course, you remember you have your gari inside, you have your and all those things. The suitcase was heavy. I was shaking it's like I've never carried anything like that. I carried it, and then they said I should start walking. I just was trying to look back, and then when I tried to look back, the guy he had like this koboko, right? I just
Wow.
I just started screaming.
Hold on. Your very first day, you dropped koboko.
Very first day. After we started walking away from here, when they knew that my mom couldn't see me. Very first day. I don't think I've ever felt misery as much as I did that first day, because you are coming from a different world. Like Tosin said, you're coming from a sheltered life, I mean, you're coming from where everything used to work, where, you go to school. I went to ABU staff school. We had kind of a sheltered life too, right? We go to school, we come back, we wear a uniform, simple, but turn around 360 degrees. And, it's like, what did I do to deserve this in one day? It's like, wow. I was really, really, really miserable. Then we went in, obviously, a whole new life starts. You don't know anybody. You're told to wear, we removed our civilian clothes, and we had to wear singlets, shorts, and some army issued boots. They look like boots, but they weren't really boots. And then the jungle hat. You guys know that jungle hat?
Yeah.
Picture a 12-year-old, skinny, yeah, and wearing all that stuff, looking really, really miserable. Just like those kids that you see in the obviously in the what do you call this? Looking for. When most American companies are looking for aid, the only thing that I didn't have was the tear and the flying around me, but that state of misery was where I was. But after a while, you make friends, and then you start to build a rapport, and then you start getting used to the life or the army work, and fast forward, you persevere, you move on, and then obviously tables turn. One day you become a senior, right?
Right.
So when you become a senior, or when I became a senior, at least from Form 3, I had the privilege of being what we call provost.
Oh, you're a provost too, like Soki.
Like Soki, yes. So each company or each house would have 4 provosts out of every set, and basically the provost is equivalent to what you guys I think call prefects. So we had we were really in charge of keeping everybody on track, moving people from dining hall to the parade ground, from parade ground to classes. So we were really, really moving the school at that time, and obviously that comes with a lot of responsibility and comes with a lot of power. And that power was something I definitely used a lot, and till today when I meet some of my genius, they'll say, "Oh man, you were wicked." But
okay, so no, I need to say something. So you watched the one with Soki and KJ and Mark, right? Because I think Mark was in Bravo company with you, right?
Mark, I think so. He was our junior, I think.
Yeah, it was a year your junior. So one of the things KJ and I said this in the other episode. If you watch it, you will realize that KJ is my cousin, right? So the first day KJ and Soki met after that, Soki stood up and we were looking at what's happening here. So that means that guy was wicked with the normally, as Soki said it, right? And even Yemi Ajayi is my friend. He went to NMS too in 90.
Okay, yeah.
So they will say all the seniors that wicked were black. Which you are. So it was surprising that Soki was yellow, was wicked, and he was like looking at it, what's happening? So Soki had to explain the fact that how they brought him into being a provost, and that's what made him wicked. So you're one of those that KJ defined as the black wicked seniors.
And to add to that, in my case, I was really small and short, right? Because at some point, a lot of the provosts were much bigger than me, and then that you expect some level of wickedness from a person when you see them, especially when they're big. But in my case, I had a small frame, and a lot of people just didn't see me coming. I was one of those people that you don't see me coming, but when I get to you, I really get to you.
Really? So you really killed them? They were always sitting on their hands and crawling.
Oh yeah, and obviously when you knock on somebody's head, it's like we leave contours.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't know that, Naz. I had no clue.
That was a
Yes.
that's a
You
terrible.
are a terror provost.
Yes, when you're in Provo, those are expected,
Terrible.
and then obviously you move on to Form 4 and Form 5, and Form 5 I was a boy sergeant, and as a Form 5 boy, your temper goes down. Obviously, you're looking forward to what's next after NMS, and you're kind of laid back. So Form 3 was the critical path, and I think I really did a lot of damage. So,
All right, so let's move forward. So let's continue with Nas. How will you say your experience in NMS has molded you from that boy, that short black boy,
right.
to a grown man, still black?
To a project manager? Yeah.
Yeah. How has it molded you?
I think it I don't know if what's the next degree of molding. What happens after molding? If there is anything like that, I'm looking for the right word.
A transformation, huh?
Okay, so NMS definitely molded, transformed, and gave me the courage and gave me the strength to really move on in life to where I am today. And I say that because a lot of what we learned in NMS was perseverance, right? Remember, we go for bush camps. And from 3 you go for bush camp, from 4 you go for bush camp, from 5 you go for bush camp, for 3 years you go to the bush, you build your own tent. You live in nature. The only thing that we didn't do was we didn't hunt for the food we ate. That was the only thing we didn't do. So we learned survival skills, and honestly, those were foundational for me. As I left NMS, went to university, came to America, got into corporate America, I really think that's what made me show up. As they say, you show up as a black person, you show up as a leader, you show up because you need to get it done, right? I'm sure you guys all relate to that. Every day we show up when we go to work, right? And there's something that has given us that drive to show up. And without that showing up, people will not see us. But now, I guarantee you, every one of us, if you go to any organization or any business place that you work at and call your name or call my name, they know who I am and they will give you that respect because we have kind of paved the path to being excellent. Obviously, in the pursuit of excellence, there is no finish line, right? We keep raising the bar, and I truly am humble and thankful for NMS that has made me who I am. And one thing I would say is that we that went through this experience, we're very lucky we did. We are extremely lucky we did, because I don't think anybody from any other set or any other age group has gone through what we have, and the schools that we went to really molded us. We benefited from the system. Regardless of what you would think, we benefited from the Nigerian education system because it has really made a lot of great people. So with that, thankful to NMS, thankful to Nigeria for funding such schools, because without that funding, obviously we would not have that level of intelligence and intellectual capability or horsepower. So.
No, you're right about that, because I think in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the funding for the public schools, all the military schools for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and federal government colleges, right? Because there were very minimal private schools back then, right? For our generation, I'm talking about, really. Yes. So when it's so sad that they're not funding the schools as they are right now, and they're now doing private schools, and the curriculums are a bit different, because the folks who went to those schools, either Air Force, federal government college, they're doing very well. Today, the difference between anybody that went to any of the military schools is we are more regimental, right? From command, Air Force, and Navy, compared to the federal government college. So you're very right. I wanted to ask you to give us, because we always like hearing from ex-boys, your first experience in bush camp. how you felt, what you experienced, because we like hearing from you guys.
Can we get back to that once we're done with these guys on this particular topic? We'll get back to that. Yeah, please. Tosin.
Yes, sir.
So,
yeah,
your transformation from boys to men. From boys to men.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Command actually did a number on me, particularly, and I think when I got there, it was just a new life entirely. That those 6 years was when you go through without even knowing it. Like self-analysis. You go through modification, refinement, and redefinition. You come is like you go to grind pepper. You put the pepper as a whole, it comes out as liquid. In other words, it comes out in a different form. So pretty much that was what command did for me, and it just kind of made me a stronger person. When I was there, I hated it. I just wanted to get out until I became a senior. Then became more palatable and bearable. But a lot of things that have turned out to be today, it's the background and the teachings you get from your parents, that's one thing, but command had a big part of it. Mostly, like Nasser, perseverance. Came here, I was young, I was very young when I came here, 18, 19, went to school, did all that, and pretty much did all of that by myself, which little help from anybody. And then moved, I used to live in New Jersey, because when I came in, I moved to New Jersey, and then I moved to LA because of Emmanuel. So, did all that, got a job and, started all these different things. I do like to get myself into some type of investment and just to, not be stranded on the 9-to-5 job. And it's gone mostly pretty well. But a lot of it is also the perseverance, the teachings and the learning we got from command. And it's been really helpful. And, without that, I don't think, I'll be where I am today or the person I am today. So I'm really thankful for that. Have a great family and, would not change one thing at all. Would not change one thing. So, yes.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Tell us from be the dancing boy to the dancing man.
Well, what I can say, Toast pretty much summed it up, but it gave me a very strong backbone. Even while we were still in school, I used to go to work. I used to be I worked for my uncle's tel. He was the first black telecommunication, or first black man to own a telecommunication company in America. So he had a branch in Lagos at Marina, so I was working for him. So while I was in school, during the holidays, when I would go home, I would go to work as a telecom guy, technician. So I started from there. So because of that background from command, that strong upbringing and everything, I wouldn't trade it either. It made me tough. I could go through stuff, and I see a lot of people, they rise and they fall, and some people they rise and they're not able to stand. That foundation is not there for them. They didn't really have it. So I thank God. I thank God for putting me in that school. I really thank God, because I learned a lot from that school. I learned a whole lot. It was a blessing to be in that school.
So that leads us to the next question, because you guys have I understand. We understand where you're coming from, Goki and I. We pretty much have the same regimented background. So will you send your child to command? To command here.
Or NMS.
No, I'm starting with Emmanuel.
Would I send my child to command?
Yeah.
If it was back in the day, I don't know what command is now. Back in the day, yes. Yes. Without even blinking. Yes. I wouldn't even blink.
Okay.
Yes, I would. Because that would really ground them. Yes. But now I don't know what's going on now in the schools.
The difference. It's different.
It's different now. Yes. Yeah.
All right, Tosin.
Yeah. Again, I don't know the situation of the school situation in Command now, Kaduna as a whole, or Nigeria. So but if it were the same as when we were there, yes, I'll send my kids there because it just pretty much grounds you, and it prepares you for life. You can pretty much handle anything. I see my kids now, and at times I'm like, golly, this one's
They're different. They're spoiled. They're spoiled.
They wouldn't last.
They're spoiled too much.
Yeah. So had Command been what it is, definitely would.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Naz, NMS.
Yes, sir.
Will you send it? You send your kids to NMS?
I have to echo what my command boys have said.
Hey, listen. Call us Commandos.
No,
please.
I
He said we not suffer enough. He said we not suffer enough. We suffer enough. Just like with KJ, we always argue that thing.
There's the reason that you guys Exboys just leave Commandos for us. Exboy, we're Commandos. Just keep it like that.
Sorry, I can't even say the word. Sorry, I can't even say it. So let me try to answer your question. I think with the situation we are today, the world has changed, and the level of insecurity is just so scary. If we had that element gone or removed or minimized, even though NMS might be a little bit more secure than other schools, as you guys can see, every day is one story or the other, kids being taken from schools, which unfortunately where we are.
Right.
Yeah. But NMS is a barrack. So honestly, if I was in Nigeria, or if today I have the opportunity to be in Nigeria or be there and I relocate there today, I would look into sending my kids to NMS. I would not hesitate. Yeah.
You would.
Yes.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
That's unique.
Yes.
All right. So we go ahead with you. We'll come back to you for the big question anyway, for your big narrative of your experience. Also, but the next question is, what will you say had an influence on you, good or bad? Those days, your 5 years in NMS. Anyone, senior, teacher, classmates, that had any kind of influence on you?
Good or bad, actually. We want to hear the good and the bad. The one that made you cry.
If it's negative, we don't want to hear names, please.
So I guess let's start with the positive because I'm an optimistic person. I had a good clique of friends that we really bonded from. Some of them we went to ABU staff school with, and then we all came to NMS together. So we all came back and had a clique, and then we had other friends. As they say, it's always like a 3 degree of separation, right? You're talking to somebody, then you hear, they're friends with your cousin somewhere in Kaduna or somewhere. So we had a lot of such groups that we came together and we clicked, and we really helped. What should I say? We really bonded to the point that we became one cohesive team where we empowered each other. We became shoulders to cry for each other, even though you really didn't have time to cry. When you're flogged, you cry while you're moving, and then you wipe it up. Then the next one will come. You just roll with the punches, right? So I had, not to mention any names, but I had lots of friends that we were really connected with that helped us form that cohesive team. And also, I'm a very religious person. We had the opportunity of having a mosque, and we had a lot of lectures that, would help shape our thinking in terms of really, whatever we were experiencing was short term. We need to look at the big picture. So having that spiritual moral compass really helped me in terms of, knowing that, okay, this is short term, and having faith in God that all the suffering all the suffering, I'm not going to die today. I'm not going to die this year. All the suffering is going to yield results down the road. Even though I didn't know what it was, but I had the determination and faith that it's going to yield results. And as I said, we've seen that molding has really helped us to where we are today. So friends and the religion really helped me through the period. In terms of negative experiences, I was able to really identify risk ahead of time. Maybe that's why I'm a good project manager. So I knew the kind of people to stay away from, so that I didn't get myself in trouble. Obviously, we had a few people that would, do things that were not within the rules that the school had set, and they'll get in trouble. So I knew to back away from those people, and that really helped me minimize any risk and stayed out of trouble. And that's why I was able to maintain, my provost and all the way to being a sergeant or a boy sergeant. You can't get those positions if you had any blemish in your record.
So meaning you did not spend time in NMS guard room?
That's a different question.
I'm just saying, I want to say we've had a commando who has actually spent time in your guard room, who is my classmate. I don't know. What's his name? His dad was your commandant.
Yeah. He was I know.
No. Actually, he went to command, not his younger brother. His younger brother was your junior, but the one that came to my school when we finished, I think you guys had finished them. Was with them. KJ said that they locked them in guard room. That he was telling us to just. Yeah.
Okay. No. I had my experience in the guard room. I think it was for almost half a day, and I also had the experience of getting my head shaved with a bottle.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is that for punishment when they shave you?
It is for punishment. We had barbers who were dedicated to shaving heads, right? And if you did a certain level of offense, I can't remember what I did, but maybe our homework was late, or we didn't do our homework, or something like that. This teacher sent us to get our head shaved, and he said,
"It's a homework, schoolwork, meaning academics."
Yeah, academics.
So for academics, they use bottle on your head because you didn't.
So it depends on what the punishment has been mandated for you. We had some academic officers, believe it or not. Some of these academic officers were more wicked than military officers. And
civilians.
Wow.
No, not even. So we would have our regular studies like English or all those subjects, right? And then we will have military training as well.
Yes.
And the military training will be conducted by military officers or permanent staff or whatever, right? But when we are in our normal core classes, it could be by a civilian or a military officer who is part of the education corps. So some of those officers in education corps are very, very wicked. In this instance, I think a few of us did not do our homework, or I can't remember what the context was, but we didn't do something, and he found out we didn't do it, and he got us out. He called for the RSM, and we did frog jump. I think this was also in Form 5. I was lucky to have escaped guard room all the way from 1 up to 4, but it was in Form 5 that I ended up getting my head shaved and sent to guard room for a few hours. And yes, sometimes they would say, "Okay, kuyi amfani da kwalba." So in Hausa, it's you get amfani da kwalba means use a broken bottle to shave the head. And
so when they shave you, aren't you guys bleeding from the?
That's our problem, right?
Okay, I see you not so fast more.
That's our problem.
Listen, man. Listen, that doesn't stop us from being called commandos.
Please,
The connection is not very clear. I can't hear you. The connection is
all right. Let's go to Tosin. Tosin, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. The influence. Who had the bad or good influence on you through your 6 years to Comkadosa?
Yeah. There was this Well, I'm not sure how to categorize this. Right? What he did, so I looked up to this senior that did something at one time, and what he did wasn't good. It was, to me, it was a good influence, or at least I looked up to that. So I think the our housemaster called him, and he refused to come. And which is a big deal. Housemaster don't call you and you say no, and not only did he say no, he ran away. He ran to the, Emmanuel, that fence on the side, the fence that we climbed to get to the village, to get to the
Yes.
yeah.
Right. Yes.
So he ran there, stood on top of the fence, put his arms out like that, and then ran up to the other side. His nickname was X-Man. To me, that was like bravery. I'm like, wow, he was so brave to housemaster. So I'm like, that was bravery. But his nickname was X-Man. And that was how I got my nickname. So X to C came from X-Man, from X to C, then people would call me XT, So to me, I was like, oh my God, this dude did that. So, I just kind of liked that because, I just felt like, he was brave, he did that, and that's how my nickname came about. And, that was the kind of influence for me. What he did wasn't positive, but, I mean.
So, hold on. How did you replicate what he did?
I did not replicate what he did.
So how did you get that nickname?
What?
How did you get the nickname there? How did he
his nickname was X-Man.
Right.
Because his name was Samuel. X-Man from Samuel. My name Tosi, X-Tosi. So it just
okay. All right.
Right. Okay. So so either way you could categorize that as,
that one about the influence. That one about the influence. I beg.
But to me, that was bravery.
It was defiant.
How you look at it.
It was defiant and stupid.
But did they deal with the guy later? Did they deal with him later or something?
Of course, they dealt with him.
Of course now.
But how many people can do that though? I mean, most people, your housemaster calls you have to respond. I mean, you would say probably 90%.
Even your seniors, don't run from your seniors. You respect to your seniors.
You don't run. Right. So for him to be able to do that, that was, even though he knew that he was going to be punished later, that the instruction was waiting for sure. But he still did it. So to me, I was like, oh my God, that was good. I want to be like that guy.
Really?
Did you guys have Gadroom in Kaduna?
We did.
You did. Okay.
We did. We had Gadroom. Yeah, but for most of the time when I was in command, I was low key. I wasn't one of the bad boys. You can't categorize me as that. So most of the bad influences or the kids that would do whatever you call bad influences, I kind of veered away from, and so I separated myself. So I didn't even have any of that sort when that you classify as bad influence. So
okay,
yeah,
cool. All right, so Tosin, I'm sorry, Emmanuel.
Yes, sir.
Let me help you out. The guy that told you to blow your mouth. That one had a very bad influence on you for sure.
That was bad. There's a lot more, but that one was bad. But what I did pretty much what I did after that was I made friends with all the seniors. So whether it be female or male, when my father would come, because he was stationed in Kaduna, we bring fried chicken. So me, I would, and he'd bring like a big plastic bag of fried chicken. So what I would do is I would take the chicken, separate some for me and my guys, me and my friends, and then share the rest with the seniors, with those seniors. Yeah, I would give them, take care of them, give them salaries, So I would.
And you don't sabi how to bribe people from.
You don't have to bribe your boyfriend out. But those were serious survival skills.
So I made friends with a lot of seniors, and then I could call his name because his influence was good. Babafori. His name is Babafori. Shegwadi, that guy, he was when he first he became the senior prefect in our school, was our senior. He was kind of the when he first came to the school, because he came in Form 3, he had nobody to. He had no bed, so he came to me. He was a big dude. He was big. He says, he asked me if he could share my bed, and I was small. So I said, okay, no problem. So I shared my bed. You know how we share bed, we share the bunk. So he became my friend after that, and he was a good influence. Him and Sobobo. Sobobo was wicked. Sobobo, he was very wicked.
Bob was wicked.
He was wicked, but he was nice to me because
How many years was he your senior?
Oh no, when I came in from 1, he was our senior. He was like he was in his the 5th year.
From 5 at the time. He was your school father, right?
Yes, he was my school father. So
The other one that came to the school that was big, was he in from 5 when you were from 1 too?
No, he was a from 3 while I was a from 1.
Okay.
Yes, he was a from 3 while I was a from 1. So he came in from 3. So yeah, during that time. All right, am I correct? No, sorry.
Yeah.
He was in from 3 and we were from 2. Sorry. Yes, he was in from 3, we were from 2. They are from 1. Yes, so he came in late. So he was. Other than that, everything was. I was taking care of the seniors. So me, I know they for.
No, so that was smart.
Most of the time they were punishing the boys. Hey, mother, come here. Come here. Take my books to class. When they told everybody,
because that seniors want chicken the next time.
I knew how to take care of them now. So hey,
let's take a brief minute to go back to Naz. We want to give you the floor to explain what happened at bush camp.
Yeah, your first experience. We like hearing bush camp from Exboys.
Okay.
Your military experience.
So I've been trying to find Emmanuel's dad here because this book has all the. If there's a picture that was taken of any NMS boy, it will be in this book. So I'm trying to find Emmanuel's dad all the way from, I think, from 1956 or so. We have pictures in here.
Wow.
Hussein is your dad's mate, Abi.
Yes.
Jerry was
his dad's mate. Yeah.
Okay, I'll find it.
Yes.
Okay, so back to bush camp. So I'm sure you guys have heard all the wonderful stories of bush camp, and for me, I think the most interesting or exciting part of bush camp was the opportunity to travel by train in Nigeria. At that time, the Nigerian Railway Corporation was still functional. From Zaria, we would get on the train. I think our first bush camp was in, I'm not sure where Elerin Jare is. I think that was, which state is that? I can't remember the state anyway. It's in the south anyway. So you start from Zaria, and this first bush camp, I think it was a 3-day train ride from Zaria to Elerin Jare. Wow. And what was interesting was when you get on the train, you are given money for your daily meals. At every major stop along the train ride, you buy breakfast, you buy lunch, you buy dinner. Everybody had their own allowance that they could.
Wait, is this separate from the salary they normally pay you people again?
It is separate from salary.
Maybe you extra money plus the salary that they are giving you. Okay. You will enjoy, no? How much? Can you remember how much it was?
I can't remember.
So every time you're going for bush camp is extra pay.
There's a small
bush
allowance.
Camp pay.
There's a small allowance you would get, right? And you use that for feeding on the way to your destination. So on the train, you'll be seated by companies, and you get to see the terrain of Nigeria. Honestly, I've never seen anything like that. Moving from the north all the way to the south, you see how the terrain changes. You see where it becomes really green and nice, and the food changes as well, because every station, is in a different state. If you can find moi moi here, when you go down to another station, it will be that thing. Not Accra. There is this thing. I'm trying to remember the name. No, Bafurado, no, because you're living north. It comes in. banana leaves. It's white.
Echo.
I think that's what it's called.
Echo.
It's cold. It's always
Echo. Yeah, Echo.
That is always comes with Momo, and Momo is always next door to Echo.
I didn't like Echo at all. That thing was tasteless.
But for
us,
but remember, for us, you grab what you can eat, right? Because you don't have options. As soon as you stop, I can't remember whether they blew the whistle, which gives you kind of the time. Okay, you're here for maybe 45 minutes. Go get what you want, and then get back on the train. They'll blow the whistle a few minutes before that, or no, it wasn't a whistle. It was beagle. And then you get back on the train. So that experience was amazing, and till today, I see why the school had a motto of discipline, knowledge, and patriotism. It really, really made us appreciate Nigeria more than what people appreciate today, because you got to see the culture, you got to see the people, and most important for us as boys, we got to interact with everyone from every strata of society. We had sons of generals, we had sons of messengers in federal ministries. Obviously, messenger, if you guys know, messenger is that person that carries file from one office to the other, right? So all I'm saying, not to demean them in any way, form, or shape. All I'm saying is that we had kids from the lower level of society and all the way to the highest level of society, and that really helped a lot of us in terms of really interaction and social mobility, and also any kind of connections to do business or to propel in life. So being in that train, because if you're sitting in the train, you have nowhere to go unless you buy job in the train too.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. I heard that they make you guys sit on the train, sit on your head in moving train.
You planted.
Yeah, plant in moving train. Yeah, my cousin is telling me about that. That it used to be
or you do situation. Or you even do frog jump. I mean, imagine. I don't know if you guys ever seen the trains in Nigeria. I mean, the walkway or the corridor is really, really tiny. If you buy job, you will still do frog jump up and down the aisle. So when you're sitting there, you get to it's more of a reset period. If you're a senior, or even if you're a junior, if you keep your head down, or you try to sleep most of the time. That's how a lot of people dodge. If you're sleeping, you can't buy job. So
well, okay, I have a question. If you are pissed off a senior before you guys went on the train, will they come and get you to get job during that time?
Oh yeah.
Even if you are sleeping.
Oh yeah. At that point, you become, if a senior has an eye for you to punish you, you will be that person that will buy them food at every station. You go and you make sure
with your money.
No, sometimes they give you money, but they'll give you a list of things that you have to buy. You have to buy those things on the list for them. And sometimes a lot of people end up not even having time to buy their own food, but because they have to satisfy the seniors role, the list that they have from the senior. So yes, so that's a time for what should I say? Settling the scores, because you really have nowhere to run. You can't dodge anymore. Another dimension of the experience is when you get to wherever you're going. You also appreciate how the locals in that area, because you're going to the bush. It's a really, really remote area. By the time you get there, it's just a flat ground. They've cleared all the bushes there. We had to build our tents, so you'll find all the stuff you need to build a tent. We build our tents, we build our toilets, everything we do it on the first day when we arrive. The way they time it is, by time you get off the train, you probably get up very early in the morning. So when you get to the site, it's like early in the morning, so that you can walk all day, and by night you're already set up. So you have to set up all your tents and everything you have to, and the toilets, and you have your kit bag. You remove everything that you need to remove and set up your little corner, so that you have your place to sleep. If you have mosquito repellents, if you're lucky, that's when you get to use it, because it is truly the bush. truly the bush. If you're not careful, those mosquitoes will eat you for dinner and leave your bones there. So you experience that, and then you also appreciate, because when we were in school, you had running water, right? You had tap water, but at the bush camp, there's no tap water. There's a big tank where every day, like a tanker will come and put water. So a lot of things that you take for granted, that's when you begin to take a step back and see, wow, this light, now we have light. You have a generator for a few hours where you can use in the tent, but then there's no toilet. We dig holes to go to the toilet, and then there's no running water. If you want to take a shower, there's always a river. They find a river somewhere. You go take a shower. You go take a bath in the river. Or if you're a senior, you might be lucky to get a junior to go get you water from the river, and then you can take a bath in one of the places marked for shower. So it becomes a really, really regimental life. And while you're there, you're doing military training. You're going in. We are all given rifles. We have various trainings. We have map reading where they'll drop you in the middle of the thickest forest you can ever think of. All you have is your map and a compass, what they call point to point. So you have to know how to read the map. Till today, I still remember when somebody's talking about on a compass, when you say the north, there's always a magnetic north and a true north. So sorry, can you guys see me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. So
explain the difference between a magnetic north and a true
my
north.
goodness, I can't remember that anymore. But I'm sure if you Google it, you find out. But the point is, you have to figure your bearings out before sunset, and you get to a point where when you get to that point, somebody will come, like they will come with a truck and pick you and take you back to camp. So bush camp is about for a month, and you do all of those activities, and you also towards the end you have what they call I think we called it attack night, where I think Form 5 and Form 4 boys will kind of have a war between each other, and whoever wins the war, if Form 4 wins, they can hold Form 5 as hostages or as prisoners of war. And obviously there are rules of engagement, just like the real military, right? There are rules of engagement, and sometimes when you're a prisoner of war, if you're a Form 5 boy, you have to listen to what the Form 4 boys are telling you.
Exactly.
Because
right.
You're their prisoner. They can deal with you because they are their prisoner.
Oh, do they beat them sometimes?
Sometimes they do, but obviously out of respect, you wouldn't do that because, this is just for a few hours.
Because when you go back to school, they'll fuck you up. They'll fuck you up.
Big time. So and at the end of the day, when all of that is done, you have the bonfire night where you sit down and you kind of go through the night, kind of a Monday night quarterbacking, or what we call in project management retrospective, where everyone kind of goes through what they did well or what they didn't do well, what they could have done better, and all that kind of stuff from a military strategy point of view. So really, we were really trained to get to be boots on the ground, because after you're done in your fifth year, you're ready to be a soldier.
So we had this funny story from one of you guys. The guy said they were on the plane and they were made to plant on the plane, on the moving plane.
Well, maybe that was an Air Force guy. We didn't have planes. Remember where?
No. It was when at the end of the when you guys were coming back home. So those going to Lagos, and they put them on the plane. And they want, he was saying that they always have a uniform for the day that they are going back home. They have to go sharp.
Yeah,
so one senior had them plant in the plane. That the two of them were so funny. They were like, we wish that the plane crashed. They were shaking.
It's possible. It's very possible, because what are you going to do? Say you wouldn't plant, because it's better for you to serve the job right there, because if you come back to school and the job is 10 times more, and the senior will say, listen to what this did. And then when you finish that job, you'll probably serve 10 other jobs down the road because those seniors will pounce on you as well.
So, because I know that a lot of times they have you guys plant on parade ground. So, planting on parade ground and planting in a moving train, how difficult is that when you're trying to plant on a moving train?
So I would say I've had the luck of not planting in a moving train, but I can only imagine if I was to compare the two. I think the train will be a little bit easier because the train is a flat surface, right? Like it's going to be like a surface like this. However, because I planted on parade ground has gravels.
So it's hot.
It's hot, and then when you plant it, those gravels will be poking into your head. Sometimes when you get up, there's actually blood from the gravels.
Yeah, because my cousin KJ said that when he was a junior, that a senior planted a guy for, I can't remember how long he said, that it actually changed the shape of the guy's head, that they had to expel that senior from NMS because of that.
I think that's true. That's very.
You remember that story?
I remember that story.
Yeah, he said they expelled the guy because he said for some the skull became soft.
Yes.
Yes, then and the guy just collapsed.
Yes.
So they expelled him from NMS because of that.
Yeah, because it's a parade ground and there are the gravels and it's what do you call this? It's like it's. You guys should know what a parade ground is.
Yeah, we know what a parade ground is.
Yes. So, yeah. It's not like soft grass.
Yeah.
It's not soft grass and it's not sand. Let's put it that way. So.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
No, that's a very detailed context of your for our viewers especially. Now we learned a new thing that apart from the regular monthly salary, that they even gave you salary again for allowance. And nobody was stealing this allowance. So you guys were.
So there are two allowances. Like every month you get pay. You get a monthly pay, and then I think there's also a travel allowance when you're going on vacation. I think those, if you live in the south, you get a little bit more because of the distance to travel. And then when you're done in the 5th year, when you pass out after your POP, if you're going to continue if you're going to the unit, that's when you get what they call Jackie. That's a big jumbo pay you get.
So do you remember what you got in 89 when you finished?
Gosh, I can't remember how much it was, but it was substantial because I think they give you, it's kind of like a 2 or 3 month worth of salary of an army soldier. So it was substantial, you know. But a lot of people use it just to party at that time.
Exactly right here in your parents' house. So did you go to unit?
I went to unit. I went to Lagos. I was posted to intelligence. I was an intelligence officer.
Okay.
So I went to unit for a few months, and from Lagos they posted me back to Kaduna, and that's where I did most of my.
So which university did you go to in Nigeria?
I started ABU Zaria.
Oh, you went to
Yeah.
Okay, that means you are there with KJ because KJ was in ABU too.
I was only in ABU for about 2-3 years. I didn't finish in ABU.
Okay, got you.
Of time. Yeah.
Emmanuel Tosin, y'all still there?
Yes. I've taken the floor. I've monopolized.
No, you good.
We have to hear Exboy story from NMS.
So
no ranger.
Because we're the true soldiers, you know.
The only difference is you guys went to bush camp and they paid you salary.
It's a big difference.
You guys.
Hey, listen. I mean, Tosin, make the guy no talk now. We don't see girls when I know they see girls.
So on that, I would say yes. I honestly, I think that's where a lot of us ex-boys were.
Deficient.
Our social skills were not that great till later on in life.
But you have to thank me because I brought you up to speed.
No, I have to say, after NMS and Command, even in the 90s, Exboys and Command, yeah, we built tents during inter-house sports. We used to go into the bush, we had a bush close by, and we actually built tents in our junior days during inter-house sports. So yeah, we learned a lot of that. The only thing we didn't do is the what's it called? The firing gun and no salary.
Live ammo.
Live ammo, yeah,
Exactly.
and the salary.
And I appreciate that. You guys are our distant cousins. That's why we always call you guys the command guys. So that's okay.
Distant cousins.
Yeah.
Did you just use the word distant?
We are under the same Nigerian Army education, so we are the same family.
Okay, we're cousins. We're cousins.
That's fair, man.
And NMS boys like chasing command girls.
because we lacked the skills, right? And we figured maybe that's an easier path. You take the path to least resistance.
Of course.
Because command girls like guys in uniform. Again, last time I saw you guys was 2002, when we partied hard in Los Angeles. You guys know how to party. Command boys.
West Coast.
That's
This is
what I'm saying.
West Coast. When I came West Coast.
He can make a lot of noise now, but I really brought him up to speed. I didn't know the NMS boys were so backwards.
No, but back in the 90s, we had to train the ex-boys in regards to social issues, NMS. We used to train them.
No, I don't agree. So you want to wrap it up? And here's
we're wrapping it up.
He wants to say something.
Here's something I want to say, right? Honestly, I appreciate you guys doing this, and it's really good that we will have this documented in history, because you're gonna store this and it's gonna live way after us.
Sure. Right.
And one of my biggest regrets is, where did we go wrong in Nigeria? Where did we go wrong? Because with all the investment that Nigeria did in us, we would have been the trendsetters. We would have made Nigeria greater, and Dubai and all those other countries would have been looking at us and how did these guys do it? Because honestly, we have the intellectual power. That's all it takes.
Right.
We have the resource, and unfortunately, we got it wrong. And now it's a little bit too late. They're trying to see how they can tap into diaspora, blah, 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 blah. But the cat is already out of the bag. And I just hope that we, in any way, form, or shape, that we can always figure out a way to come together and try to help in any way, form, or shape, because the country needs our help.
Yeah.
Right.
The country definitely needs our help. And we could be the catalyst that would make the change. I mean, we're all in our 50s now. It's not too late. So, I call on us to come together and see what we can do in any way, in our little ways, to help propel the country forward. And this could be a platform that could propel that, or bring that conversation, that we could ignite that conversation and see what we
Right.
So.
Well, you're right. But so I just want to quickly say something. So that's one of the reasons why Ife and I started this thing, to bring that camaraderie together between all military schools. So coming on this platform, you have to have gone to a military school. It has Air Force, Navy, and we realize, especially with Exboys, Command and Exboys, our mottos are similar: discipline and knowledge, but NMS has one extra: patriotism, right? So that's the only difference I know. And patriotism, that's the only difference between NMS and Command. But we are still very regimental. We support. We love Nigeria in regards to being wanting the country to be great. But unfortunately, we have leaders who are there who don't appreciate, as you said, the intellectual capacity and the dedication we have to the country, and especially for all of us who went to public schools back in the day, because NMS and Command is a public school,
it is a
publicly funded school. We come over to this part of the world, and even in Nigeria, and we do excellent things. It's unfortunate that they don't fund the schools that know that. Even for Command, we are the ones, alumni, both at home and abroad, putting money to refurbish the school to get to a certain level.
Right.
And I don't know about NMS if they're still fund, they still get the fund. Do you guys do?
Exboy still do. We still do a few things here and there, but the Nigerian Army still funds it fully.
Right.
They still fund. Okay. Do they still pay them salaries?
I don't know about that.
Okay. Well, yeah, but it's just sad.
It's funny how you mentioned something about where did we get it wrong? Because during that time in the 80s, we're so hopeful. We're going through all this training, all this torture. As much as I hated command, but I was hopeful.
Okay.
I felt I was going to go to college and do something big. I mean, and I'm doing well for myself, but to see what it's turned to, I'm like, this is true. Where did we get it wrong? Because we were hopeful, but now they're hopeless.
Yes.
Kids that were in our age back then, you go to colleges now, high school, colleges, even colleges, they're hopeless.
They're hopeless. Yep.
Completely.
They're always closing down schools, strikes and stuff. It doesn't keep consistency.
And then when they graduate, we work.
What is the future hold? Yeah.
There's no future. So, and like you said, so for me, I have a non-profit foundation. I'm glad you guys talked about it. So feel free to donate. It's called Effect Foundation Inc. We do a lot of scholarship programs. We feed the hungry in Nigeria right now. We're paying for jam for like 50 kids.
Nice.
That are being paid for because they have academic excellence, but there's an economic deficiency.
Absolutely.
So we try to encourage them to at least pass. We supply soccer equipment, jerseys, soccer balls, cleats. So we do a lot. Then, like you said, in any two way we can give back.
Yeah.
So it's really to encourage these kids to stay in school and study because the scholarship is earned through hard work. It's not just given.
Absolutely.
So you have to obtain an academic excellence for you to win the scholarship. Yeah. And I knew when we were presenting the awards 2 years ago how the kids' eyes lit up because the first prize was 50,000 naira. And at the end it was a surprise. The second prize was 35, the top prize was 25,000. And the remaining kids that probably took it for granted that didn't take the exam, they had regrets. Because they saw that kids testing, about 60 kids tested. They were just playing ball. So the next time we went, they were fired up that they're going to win 50,000 naira. So
we have to give them hope. That's it.
Yeah, yes,
absolutely.
And that's what we're doing. Just give them hope that there's something out here. Maybe my foundation at some point when we're fully blown, we can even bring kids here on the exchange program.
And hope is a great thing, right?
Right.
You guys have all heard Barack Obama talk about hope. Hope is a great thing.
Yeah, it's always hope. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, one thing I want to add is when I said where did we get it wrong? You know that as Nigeria as a country, and I want to extrapolate to the black race as a whole, we don't appreciate the next person. I don't care about how the next person feels. When I came to America, what I kind of understood, what kind of the dichotomy I had with Nigeria here is, in Nigeria, we want to amass as much as we can. We get as much as we can. I don't care how Mr. Nas lives. That's not my business. I want to get all the money. In America, it's not like that. You see, people care for you. We talk about racism, but is that not white man that will help you navigate you to the right place you need to be? He wants to make sure you're fine. They want you to be on your feet. We don't have that.
We don't know.
So,
to have a sponsor.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's what we need.
Grabs to the bucket. Grabs to the bucket, man.
Yeah, we need to teach the kids that, the welfare of the next man, the well-being of the next man. If I care about you, there's no way I'm going to take people that work under me their salary and go and invest it in a fixed account because they need to leave. So if you care about your next man, you will go out of your way to do what you need to do, and then it just keeps rolling back down the road that way, and everybody's okay. But we don't do that. We don't have that. So unfortunately, our country is see, Nigeria. We're the most populous country in Africa, and we have all the. In Africa too.
Black country.
Yes, and we have the high resources. We have gas. We have oil. But we're still talking about no water, no light in 2021.
21. Yep.
That's what we've been talking about since I was born.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
seriously, no, you're right. You're
we're
right.
still talking about that now. So,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, we haven't moved anywhere forward, which is pretty sad. You know, so I think we need to rewire people. You know, I mean, it's good
Yes.
to give,
Mm-hmm.
and I do that. You know, that's good, but I think people need to, because we need to nip this at the root. You know, people need to be rewired and say, well, this is how you move forward. This is what we need to do. If we care about, you know, then we'll start doing things to make,
It's
you know, we
it's
start
leadership,
build
right?
infrastructure.
It's
Good leadership.
leadership.
All that will come
Yeah.
up. All
Yeah.
once you build that grassroots, the rest of it, you know, you plant a good seed, you know, you get good offspring. That's
Yeah.
just the way it is, you know. So I think we need
And
to
we're
start
ready
teaching
to,
that to our kids.
and we, you know, just to add to your point, I think the country is ready to be good followers if you have an effective leader. And I'll give you a small example that I noticed. If you've been in Abuja lately or in the past 5 years, you will notice in the evenings there are no street lights. No, sorry, the traffic lights go off, right? The junctions become a war zone. And every now and then you'll see maybe somebody like somebody who has been begging on the side of the street will come in the evening and they will impose themselves as a traffic warden, and people would pay would adhere to the rules that that person who has empowered himself to be a traffic warden in his kaftan with no uniform. They would follow the rules and obey the traffic rules. So just by that simple fact, by seeing that, you realize that if anybody has the capability to be the leader, we will follow as far as that person is guiding us in the best interest. So with that,
Right.
I rest my case.
Well, you're right. I agree. That
Yeah.
especially great for us who went to regimental schools. We follow
Yes.
good leadership, right?
Yep.
And you know, for me, and the thing also leaders look for are people who perform. And I even experienced it in regards to what I do as a consultant, where when you come in, it's not whether you're black or white or the racism. If you're performing, the white guy will like champion you.
Yep.
Right to the next level, and I'm even experiencing that right now. That
Yep.
where they're championing me because I come in, I perform, I adhere to rules and regulations. I try and figure out how I can add extra value to what they're doing,
Exactly.
and they just want to move you quickly and stuff like that. So I don't, you know, even though I know that it's race, I'm not blind to that.
Right.
But I just try and come and do the work and not try and look at everybody as you know, races. There are a few races, just like a few people from the black race too are judgmental and don't want to do stuff. But if you come and you're focused, you want to get something done, you want to perform, they
You're
will elevate you to
professional.
the
That's
next
the
level.
bottom line. You're a
That's it.
professional. You're coming to add value.
Yeah,
That's what matters, right?
yeah, and that's what
No,
matters. I definitely agree.
I'm going to say two things maybe before I wrap this up. I've told my black people, it's not just Nigerians, black people globally, until we begin to love each other, we remain at the bottom of the pole.
That's
the
it.
key. We remain at the bottom of the pole. Then two, I don't care about racism because what we go through where I come from is worse than racism.
Exactly.
Ethnicity.
It's worse because you talk about Ife and Modakeke, they hate each other. And you can't tell the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't care about racism. Racism is easy, it's black and white. I don't know who hates me in Nigeria. You don't marry from Oyo. From Akwe, don't marry from Ekiti. What is going on?
What is going
We all speak Yoruba. Exactly. So our problem, and it comes back to that statement. Once we don't love each other, every enemy can infiltrate, and that's why we remain at the bottom of the pole.
But to what you and what's the name, Nas said, there was something that Nas said earlier about when you were going to NMS, and even it aligns to command too. The fact that you come to a school that you have people who are generals, we had people who their parents were generals, ambassadors too, and I'm sure in NMS too. Yep. And from different parts of life, and even the religion, right? But you come together and work as one unit, right? That till today we're still tight. Where in some other schools they don't have that, and I think that advantage of going to command and NMS, right, makes us be able to not look down on people and not be scared of people at the same time. Like, you know, I can come here, I can do the work. Until today, even with my set and even with my seniors, the respect is there for people who are ahead of you, you give them the respect. At the same time, you respect those who are below you, and they respect you back. You get where I'm coming from. But at the same time, we do things just like what both of you said, Abe, in regards to you guys are doing business together and stuff like that, right? Coming to US, is that discipline foundation from Command and NMS, that discipline that, okay, we're trying to do this, you guys can do spirit, just do it, as Alake said yesterday, last week, Dr. Alake, in regards to going to Command means just do it, don't do it.
Nike slogan.
Nike slogan. And that's the advantage of going to military school, because it teaches you that foundation of can do, be resilient, and the stress and anxiety we went through when we were juniors brings up to the next level in life. To we'll have things thrown at us, but you will stand it and know that, as you said, we don't know tomorrow, but keep having that hope that we'll always succeed. So yeah, absolutely, we appreciate that. So yeah,
gentlemen, it's been it's about 12 on the East Coast. So
yeah, so let me wrap it up.
Much fun.
Yeah. So guys, I'd like to thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, Naz, we definitely want to have more ex-boys come on the show. So once we publish this, you can share this and all the other ones.
I will recruit a few, or I will command a few to come and join the session.
Yeah, please bring them. Once bring more ex-boys, come and share their experiences with us and stuff.
It's always fun talking to you, command guys.
Commandos.
I had to put it in there, command guys.
Commandos. Don't like when you guys leave NMS, boys, you become ex-boys. We are ex-commandos.
if you guys keep it around, we'll start calling you guys ex-girls. For real.
So we appreciate that. We'd like to get pictures from you guys in when you were in Command and NMS, and definitely for Emmanuel, we're going to post his YouTube channel. He has a YouTube channel that he exposes in regards to home. What do you call it? What's that? Your business name again? Remind me. Depot.
Beauty supply
depot. So he has a YouTube channel, and you can order for his stuff. He will ship it to you. You ship to Nigeria, Abi? You ship to Nigeria. I'm trying to sell for you.
After you wire me to them. No, after you wire me to money.
No, true. Why they go wire you money from like that?
Thank you so much, guys.
Please remember to subscribe, share, like our videos.
Yeah,
we appreciate you guys.
Do that. Absolutely.
Emmanuel, Dr. Hart,
yeah, please subscribe, share, comment, those are people and ex-boys. We want you guys to subscribe, and we always release new videos so they can go back and see. We've had 2 previous ex-boy videos that they can watch, and we're going to bring more and stuff like that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And good night to folks in the West Coast.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah. Yes, cheers. So I'll contact you.
Please, let's connect.
All right. Cheers.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.